Start with the audience first. If yung question din na kay Jason is, ano yung goal ng bawat committee? Yung question ko is, ano yung vision mo for each of the committees this year?
I prefer to have a vision for the whole organization. So that yun nga, building an Imes family. And then I want the VPs to have their own vision. I mean kami sa you guys probably don't know this, pero may sariling vision ako for activities. Wait lang, sorry na. Wait lang. Connecting members through activities. I told you guys that dun sa pinahunang meeting natin. And I kind of tell you guys every now and then. So, I want to just have this vision na Imes becomes a family. Tapos yung each VP has their own individual vision. Tapos kung pasok naman kung inline naman siya, edi ayun.
So anyway, Keith, the board responsibilities of President is to align everyone, each of the VPs, into a single vision. That's why we want to know what is your vision for each of the committees. So if you could please elaborate for us what your vision is for each of the committees and how you think each of these visions can be integrated into one vision.
Alright. Wait lang, I'll do this hypothetically.
Yeah.
So, activities. I'd still like to keep that vision, bringing members to activities. Kasi you really have no other reason to do it. I mean, you kind of just, that's really the whole purpose of the existence of activities. If you're gonna make activities, hindi naman yun ng tao, why are you still there? Parang walang point lang. Second, ACADS. To make the academic workload of all the students in Lasal easier. Kasi, kagaya nga ng sinabi ko kanina, you need to have your foundation before you can build your house on top of it. ACADS does that. They get this foundation, which is ACADS, out of the way para we can start building our community much easier. Kasi yun nga, ang daming tao na, oh, I can't go kasi too busy, like, hindi ko pa alam ito, blah, blah, blah. Pero, yun. So, you get it. May see ba? D, documentations. And so, for documentations, yun nga, like, yung pinaka-core ng platform ko revolves around documentations. Right now kasi parang pinabasa-basa lang sila. I want them to be taken seriously. Yung goal ko sa documentations is for people to take them seriously, basically. Na we actually use the information that we document for future purposes. E. XL, to bridge people inside Lasal with people outside Lasal. G. Finance. Okay, so finance is again a foundational thing. We need to make our finance extremely good so that we won't have problems putting our stuff on top of it. HR. Sa HR, I really feel the need to emphasize person-to-person interaction. When we advertise na RTR lang tayo, when we advertise na sa Facebook lang tayo, what we're doing is we're saying things at them. As if parang may robot lang dyan, tapos kinakausap mo lang sila. You want to have a conversation. So for HRs to have conversations with the I community.
Logistics.
Oh yeah, I'm running through the letters.
Logistics.
Logistics na. Ayun, logistics. To arm everyone with the tools that they need in order to create great activities. Marketing. Yeah, same for marketing. I mean, medyo yun lang naman yung ano ko sa internals na they do their, na I want to arm them with the tools to do their job so well na never na tayo magkakaproblema sa kanila to make their lives a lot easier. So, lahat ng mga internals, yun yung goal ko. Iba-iba lang siya for the activity generation. Marketing. Yeah, same for, wait, sige. Obviously, deserves special mention. like what Chris said, yeah, more human-to-human interaction in publicity. Because, ayun nga, you don't want to just say things to people. That's kind of like just handing out a flyer na sa Dore to, at itatapon mo lang. Pero, let's say you're a college student looking, let's say you're a high school student looking for a college to apply to. Kung binigyan ka ng flyer to Lasal, babasahin mo naman, di ba? Because this is something you care about. So, publicity gets what people care about and makes things that will cater to them. So overall, all of these things fall under the overarching goal of making Imes a family.
I actually like yung platform mo, pero what I can see from that is that it's not gonna happen in a one-year basis, and that's the term that you have. So, what can you comment on this? How can you ensure na hanggang dulo to, na matutuloy ito ng susunod at susunod na 18?
We actually started doing this in the activities committee. We have this template. I like to call it the stop, start, continue template. So we write the story there of what happened exactly sa activity, and then you answer the questions. What can you stop doing sa activity na to? What can you start doing this activity? And what can you continue doing? Ito yung template na sinare ko sa inyo sa executive board. So, yun nga, we really need to continue doing this. I'm trying to think for the long term here. Kasi if you teach a man how to fish, he only eats for a day, blah, blah, blah. But then if you teach a man how to fish, then you can feed everyone for a lifetime.
Paano naging aligned sa Imes Mission yung platform?
Right now. So, Imes Mission Vision is professionalism, ethics, and leadership. Okay. So, ayun. Sa professionalism, syempre, you know what professionals do? They get the best practices of the people before them. It's extremely aligned. Sa ethics, you guys know how, like, kung nahihirapan ka minsan, you do something unethical with your free acts when ipapass mo sila. So if you get all of these things perfect, then you don't need to do anything sketchy. Mas ethical yung mga trabaho na ginagawa ko. And of course, leadership. You need to pass on the teachings of those who are better than you. You need to lead others by giving them these tools so that they themselves can use them.
Okay, Keith, can you please tell us what has been your biggest failure as an officer?
Where to go?
Why? Could you please give some context?
Okay lang sana kung nag-fail lang siya, na akala ko okay siya. Pero sa pinakaunang part ng year pa lang, sa summer pa lang, kinalculate ko yung expected value ng project na to. It was like negative 20K. Tapos kumuha pa rin ako kasi I was like, no, like, parang feeling ko masyado maraming pride ako sa sarili ko na I don't want to be the guy who ended the party.
So what about now? How do you feel about it?
I think that no one should ever go through that again. Which is why this year, I'm inviting you all to the year-end party on March 26. So actually yun nga, I replaced charity ball with this year-end party. Gusto ko masanay na tayo na, you know, you don't need to have this super large party na empty naman to have fun. You can have these smaller activities na everyone still enjoys. In General Assembly, a few nights ago, sobrang lahat ng tao enjoy, wala nang alcohol doon. Diba? So, yun.
What do you think are the concrete rules of a president? What do you think are the concrete rules of a president?
Number one role would be to provide vision for the organization, to integrate everyone into one unified goal. I think that's the most important thing. Pangalawa, you need to represent the organization outside of the org. Kung may engage meeting, etc. Secondary. And then, you make sure na okay yung relationships mo with the props. Parang you're the glue that keeps everything together.
How will you be able to strike a balance between maintaining the performance and work standards of Imes and at the same time create a family of culture instead of a working culture?
Wait lang. I think some of you are probably thinking na yung platform ko would be like everyone should be workaholics. No, complete opposite of that. I want to arm everyone with tools to make work easy. For example lang to, pero sa activities, meron kaming ginawa na checklist ng lahat ng mga common things na kailangan sa lahat ng activities. Every activity needs a dance, every activity needs a photographer, etc. All of those things. And because of this tool, we've never forgotten them, any of these materials, ever. So, ayun, like, it actually helps keep the balance. Because it makes yung mga work na to easy enough na we can focus na kagad on yung community building in the standard.
Don't you think it's also important to make them feel like it's not really work, it's more of something that they want to do?
Let me put it this way, I don't think anyone gets up in the morning excited about writing 3 apps. But I do think that we get excited thinking about, oh, we're gonna make a general assembly where everyone's going to have fun. We need to start focusing on this end goal instead of yung, kumbaga, strategy over tactics.
In not more than 2 sentences, convince us that you're ready for the presidential role.
I'm ready for the presidential role because I've already seen everything that's wrong with Imes. I've been here since I was a frosh. Number 1. Second, I'm ready for the role of president because I've already started to do things in order to meet these goals.
We have a question from the audience. Every year, we hear the same goal for the president. Imes as a family. What makes your plans different from the others? How will you ensure your leadership will be effective?
Good question. Yung usual na ginagawa ng tao, you jump straight to the end. You don't race, you don't run the marathon habang walang finish line. Pero we often forget na in front of yung Imes family ngayon, we have a huge bunch of work to do. So I think I'm one of the few people who will actually address getting these things out of the way so we can just walk easily into the Imes family part.
There's another question from the audience. It's asking, how do you think you can be, or how can you remain a good leader if there are some things you consider to be unimportant when they really are?
Mali kasi yung definition ng important. But iba yung definition. I want to define it muna. When I say important, hindi ko minamaliit yung internals or anything. Kasi sa activities generating stuff, we have what I call unimportant work. We have the whole planning na yung mag-work about buying materials. I'm not bashing internals, I just want to clarify that. So, when I say important, I'm talking about something that directly reaches the end goal. So, this is like yung mga when you make friends in an IE community. Ayun. So that's important. Because your goal is to make an Imes family and that directly contributes to it. Yung mga sagabal doon, yung mga pagpaplano, yung mga those things. So that's what I mean by unimportant.
Okay. Near last questions already. For me, personally, as a president, the only way for a president to really succeed is when he is supported by his executive board and when he's able to support each of his vice presidents and subordinates. So, how will you be able to create or bond your new executive board next year? How will you be able to gain their trust and how will they be able to gain your trust?
First of all, I believe leadership starts from yourself. Kung ikaw mismo, bigay ka lang ng bigay ng work, tapos ikaw wala ka naman ginagawa, edi, that stops na. But, so, yun muna, you need to lead by example. Second, you need to give your executive board feedback. One of the hard things to do as a leader is to tell someone that they're doing a bad job, which is really important. We need to be able to trust each other, to be able to give criticism and praise in everything that we do.
So how will you make them trust you, or how will you trust them?
Wait lang. Okay, so trust. You only trust people who listen to you. I want to build trust inside the executive board by listening to the suggestions of everyone. Because ayun nga, like I said, sa platform ko, we need to capture these best practices. If people feel that they are part of something, they are much more likely to contribute to it. Which is actually one of the reasons why yung 2012 was such a good year. Kasi ang daming mga nagko-contribute na hindi naman officer. Like we had yung mga best member award, and that's how we got a lot of our officers today, like sila 6, 8, and so on.
If ever there is just one member of your executive board that does not see eye to eye with you, what will you do?
In what way?
Let's say, for example, you are voting for something, and the vote is 10 to 1, and in this vice president feels strongly against the proposition, what will you do?
First of all, if I can be proven wrong, I want to be proven wrong. That's the whole point of best practices, not good practices. We need to keep iterating over and over again hanggang pa-okay na pa-okay siya. Pero in the event na, ayun nga, let's say tama talaga kami, tapos mali talaga siya, edi I'll talk to him personally. Kasi, alam mo, kung may group of friends ka, tapos may isang tao, let's say they want to watch Inception, tapos lahat kayo Harry Potter, hindi naman yung mag-alas sa inyo kasi you're all friends eh. Diba? So, ayun, it starts with building a relationship in your executive board. It starts by talking to them. It starts by having a conversation instead of just saying things at them.
Okay. The president is meant to lead the executive board, correct? So what makes you better than any of the vice presidents?
Wait, one more.
I'm asking. The president is meant to lead the executive board. So when you're the president, what makes you better than any of them?
I have a crystal clear vision. Everything I do really goes towards one thing lang. Hindi ako yung, I just do things for the sake of doing them. Everything I do has a reason.
I like to think that you can never be better than your executive board. You're only meant to guide everyone and to bond everyone together. So, but thank you for your answer. Any more questions? Question?
Do you plan to take out the big party? You plan to make it smaller?
Yes.
Where do you plan to get the funds for the next FRA meal? No, I mean how? Some marketing ganun.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a slight problem is how do you market something, an event that's so small to a company? How can you ask, 50,000 and yung audience impact mo lang is around 400 people?
Well, alternatively, you could just not FRA through it because di naman siya kikita. I mean, we have 4 FRA slots, so I wasted on something that burns money like we've been doing for the past few years.
Okay, may nag-text sa akin. Bakit ka nagpa-delay? Is it something Imes related or was it for yourself lang or ano?
Wait lang I wanna compose muna to.
Sige, sige.
Yung platform ko, again, it revolves around not making everyone workaholics. It revolves around making work easier. That's one of the things that I believe is extremely important to have in life. Yung hindi naman sa tamad ka, pero you don't want to do work. This is why Mark Zuckerberg invented Facebook. Kasi he didn't want to have to work at connecting people, at connecting himself with others so much. This is why Twitter was invented. This is why computers were invented. Kasi ayaw nila mag-calculate ng sobrang tagal. So, I don't believe na stressing out just to graduate fast is really worth it. I'm not in a rush, basically.
Wait. Ang tanong ko is, was your delayed decision, was it related to Imes?
Oh, sarili lang.
Sige. No more questions.
This regarding what this regarding fundraising activities, like what kind of activities do you suggest, like fundraising activities do you suggest, like
Wait, what kind of fundraising activities do I suggest?
that would earn more than kasi sinabi mo na parang, di ba, yung IT night na, it's been using for 4 years. And what can you suggest to get that money back? The amount that you usually use.
Alright, good question. Unang-una, the shared selling kumikita. There's 4 FRA slots kasi. Pangalawa, yung IA convention, that has so much potential in it. Siguro yung amount of unmet demand doon was more than double of the people who actually went. Imagine you could press that for like 400, puno pa rin yung ano mo. Actually, yung 2 pa lang para set ka na for the whole year. Yeah, then if you get more really just small things like, so, yung mga ka-level up ng mga novelties naman.
Question. Tinanong ko rin ito kay Lau kanina. Di ba sinasabi nga Imes sa family? Ano yung definition mo doon? Give me yung as in concrete definition mo. Yung ano yung role mo, ano yung role namin.
Wait, so you're asking what the family is or ano role ko and role?
Family mo na tapos yung valid your question.
Okay. Wait lang.
No rush.
Sige. When I say MS family, this is when you actually want to spend time with the people around you. Yung mga tao na nakasama ko, like yung crush ako, hindi ko masyado kasama block ko. Nandun ako sa tambayan sa Imwok. Noong second year ako, noong I spent my free time, nagbabanda kami nila main group, or 110 people, or nag-hangout kami nila mix, you know, that kind of thing. Or, yeah, like basically people you want to spend time with, people you actually love being with. Yung tipong, I want to go to this activity kasi okay yung mga tao dyan. I don't really care kung mapangit siya, basta that alone is good enough. If you can achieve that, you have your best time.
So dun sa next question ko, ano yung role? Anong role mo? Anong role ng other officers? Anong role naming members?
Lahat tayo, wait lang. Ayun, so yung end goal nga natin, lahat tayo magkakasama-sama sa common goal natin na we all connect with each other. So let's start with that. Una, as president, I need to implement things that will strengthen it. Sorry, hindi ko ma-express masyado. I'll try to get the point na lang as much as possible. Ayun, una as president, I need to build a culture kung saan we all want to connect with each other. If you remember nung rush tayo sa second year, lahat ng mga HR, palagi sila yung lumalapit sa atin una. Palaging nakatayo ka lang doon. Hi, are you from IE? Ganun, blah, blah, blah. Tapos, who is this? Alam niyo? Pero, feeling ko meron na wala na yun ngayon. It needs to start from the top talaga kasi yung mga AVPs yung unang nagkilala sa atin, di ba? If you remember right. So, ayun, the VP needs to set the tone of the organization. Everyone needs to dance to the music of the VP. Okay, yeah. The EP needs to set the tone for the organization. Everyone needs to dance to this tone. So, ayun.
Ito, hindi to galing sa aking question. Dito sa akin. Di ba, sinabi nga kanina sa introduction ni Yogi, galing ka ng HR, tapos this year, lumipat ka ng activities, nag-run ka as VP. So, ano yung step na yun? Is it part yun para candidacy mo as president? Kasi, iba yun yung sinasabi nila na normal step to be a president. Run for VP activities. So, ano yun? Ano yung nangyari yun?
Una, akala ko walang tatakbo ng activities. So kami dalawa ni Yogi, gusto namin tumakbo. Tapos I was like, alam mo Yogi, para may ano naman sa activities, sige na nga. Tapos ayun, it turns out, hindi pala. Pero I would have ran for HR na lang sana.
Maybe a weird question, pero what makes you not better than your opposing candidate?
She's a lot nicer than. Diba like, let's say sa EV na may decision tayo, yung tayo kong tinitake na side yung equal side. Yun yung ako talking about. Tapos sa kanya lagi yung good side. So I might take it over for next time. Kung nagtataka kayo, by the way, this is about kicking out mga JOs. I was like, yeah, let's do it.